Welcome. Just going to talk about the bathroom today that we are remodeling. This is our old bathroom. And we need to remove this entryway and that wall. It used to be a doorway. This wall here will go out for the first two boxes. I'll have to relocate that electrical. And this just becomes an entryway. Looking from the reverse, this wall here has to extend outwards a little bit to the left. This actually will go back to almost the second to last stud actually, and then I'll have to frame out from there just a bit. And I'll have to create a header in order to put trim on and drywall. Okay, looking at a wall that we are going to open up into a wide opening into this hallway that'll eventually just go in there, and that'll be the library. Looking at this wall, we had a chair rail, and then we had these picture frames on the walls. And the idea is that this wall will probably end maybe about where those nail holes are or so, which will give thickness to the reverse of the wall for bookcases. And hopefully that box there would be able to stay. This box, of course, and that one's already been removed. I am removing them surgically, and we are removing nails from them. Simply because on this side, that stub of a wall will have to be, I'll just take out the plaster and lath, I'll reframe that, and that will be as wide as this side over here. So that'll be about 18 inches or so, maybe a little bit more with trim. And so this box will get repurposed over there and resized with any luck to match that. So that's the idea. Baseboard's coming out, and I'll just relocate that electrical over to here, which will not be a big deal. And then I will surgically cut a line over and down, and then remove the plaster and lath with any luck, reframe what I need to behind it, and be rocking and rolling with a new wall. There you go.
Okay.
Recording. Hey folks, what I'm trying to do, you okay? Okay, got it.
I got it.
All right. Hey folks, what I'm trying to do today is I'm trying to kind of remove this wall. This is plaster and lath from way back in the day. And I want to make an opening out of this. And my framing would end here for the new opening. And then the other side I'm going to have to actually add framing to it. But I need all this plaster and lath gone. But plaster and lath, if I were to start hammering here, I'm going to crack all of this. And hopefully saving me a little bit of work. I would like to save this and just patch it and be able to use this, and I've got a trim detail that I don't want to have to reorient if I don't have to. So the idea is I put a stud on the back side where I need it, which is going to be my jack stud. And then on this, I simply created a guide, and I screwed this in, and this is hopefully pushing in and kind of pinching the plaster to keep the plaster stable all along my cut line. And then I'm using a multi-tool with I guess this is a grout remover, so it has the abrasive. And so far, I've just started, and it's working very well. I'll show you really quick, but we're creating dust, so I don't want to create a lot of dust. But just the idea is, if I can do this maybe, like this. That's the idea. And then, of course, I'll go deeper once I have the shop back all back up again. But this seems to be working very well. The plaster on this side is stable. Using this rather than a Sawzall or a handsaw, it's very stable, not a lot of vibration, but it is getting me exactly what I need. Then I'll switch from the abrasive to a wood blade, and then I'll go back through and I'll cut each individual piece of lath separately. It's going to be a lot of cuts. But if I do that, I should end up with a real stable subsurface, thus a stable surface that I can simply build off of. And of course, all of this kind of right where this guide is will eventually get covered by my trim, by my door casing. Or it's my opening casing, I guess, doorway casing. So there you go, just a little tidbit. I learned on just making guides and being able to kind of do strategic surgical demo as opposed to just, as what I'd like to do, knock it all out and bring it all back brand new. But I have crown detail all up here that I cannot afford to really get into. And take that all out and put it all back just for the sake of this wall. So anyway, there you go. Just demo on or renovations on an old house. Thanks. So it's like surgery with a multi-tool. Check this out. You can get that vacuum. Pays for itself. This is an awesome tool. Cool. Can you hold it? Okay, we're almost done actually, and I forgot to do any videos in this stretch. But as far as plaster, lathe, it's really easy once you get an edge to work. If you just get a flat bar underneath it and you pull, then you can actually pull it off in pieces. I have also taken a hammer and started it that way and then get the flat bar in. But if you want to minimize dust, which is what we're trying to do, that flat bar and a bucket. And then, but then we were able to go down through with a wood blade and nick all of these. So these should come out relatively easily. Just like so. And so there you go, a little bit of surgery on an old house, trying to minimize what we're doing, the invasiveness, and maximize what we can keep, and hopefully make less work for ourselves on the outside of this project. So thanks. All right, cool. Appreciate that. So just to show you the results of the surgery, here we go. Nice clean line. You can see flush, more or less. You know, I may have a little cleanup to do, but what will happen is I'll get a header, reverse install a header. We'll have this is a non-load bearing wall, so actually all I need is something to nail to. So really it's more of a nailer. And then this would be, this board will go away. This will be the interior casing, and this will come out flush with the existing plaster. So my face casing, that right there, will then lay on the plaster, and of course will then lay onto the casing itself. So really excited about this. This is going to give us a really nice wide opening, a little electrical to take care of course, but all the way down, just a real beautiful cut. And so far, we didn't disturb any of this plaster, which is the important part. And anything that's disturbed under here will actually be covered with the casing, which will almost be this wide. It'll shift about 5/8 over this and be, of course, a 1x stock. But looking good, looking good. I'm glad that little, I don't know if it's a gimmick or a trick, but I'm glad that strategy worked. Thanks. Okay, here we are at the end of the day, just showing again, even though it's my home, as a contractor, I am very cognizant of job site cleanup. And so, you know, from that mess that we had, we certainly were able to surgically remove everything we needed to remove from that plaster and lath wall. Baseboards will go back, so we'll reuse those. I may be able to reuse a little bit of the exterior doorway trim, at least the two sides. I'll have to create a cross piece though. So with that, just Jen is my hero. She cleaned all of this up while I was taking debris downstairs, and so she just nailed it. I mean, look at this place. This is awesome. So, looking really good. We've got a very nice opening. I have to reframe it tomorrow. This side here will actually come over to about the edge of that tape measure, and that will give me my return wall here. Reverse engineer a header in there and a nailer, so I will have support for my trim, but I don't actually need a header in there, and the fact that this is carrying nothing up there at all. This is just a partition wall, and so we got lucky there. And so with this, that's the idea. So that'll come out there, and that'll support 3 units of bookcases on this side, and this wall here, which is identically the same size, will support 3 units of bookcases on there, and then we'll get a small end cap right there, just a return. We'll end up with a bookcase across the top, and some kind of a bookcase that'll go across the top there as well. And the idea is also to have a library ladder on rails. So the library rail ladder will go all the way, well, probably 3/4 of the way around the room. All right, there you go. That's the end of today. Tomorrow is reframing this and taking up that subfloor and then putting a new subfloor down after I tend to some of that electrical.